Oh man, what a day. What a day today. We got a lot here. We got, obviously wearing the colors right now. And so what we're about to see and what they released a day early that I was able to put this video out. I didn't put this video out soon enough when everything came out. And a couple other news involving acquisitions and what I think the Eagles should still do with a potential trade or maybe a signing in free agency that may make sense. So yeah, lot here. Let's go for it.
You better turn around. Because I've seen enough horror movies to know any weirdo wearing a mask is never friendly.
What is going on, guys? Hope everyone's enjoying their weekend as of right now. And yes, the Kelly Greens, the Eagles have released, and this, I think somebody sent me this and then it started to circulate. I think it ended up, from what somebody said, it ended up on Facebook, then it was IG, and then everything kind of just uploaded on Twitter. And my God, these uniforms look so good and they look so original, and that's what it's all about. I thought, like I said, I want to see the rest of this uniform to see if it was modernized. Like maybe they changed some certain things to make it look more new. But I love this look, and man, it's going to be just amazing. And I already want to know what game they're going to be using these for, whether it's a couple games they're going to be using these jerseys and these helmets this year. Jalen Hurts looks amazing. I mean, just we're probably gonna get some crazy trailer most likely come Monday with the players, and kind of going through. Maybe they take us back to the '80s, and like kind of now with these players now wearing these things, which they haven't in a long time. It puts a smile on my face that these are coming back. And I don't know. Monday is going to be an interesting thing because I can't make it to Philadelphia. I wish I could make it to Philadelphia to get a jersey. I know they're having a big tailgate with Kelly Green Jello shots, and it's gonna be insane in Philadelphia just to celebrate these jerseys coming back, these Kelly Green uniforms coming back. And now the only thing I don't know is someone asked me this question, and I've already said this to you guys a million times since the rumors of these Kelly Greens are coming out, is the 3 pro shops in Philadelphia will be opening to the public at 9 a.m. to pick up these jerseys, and probably going to be long lines. Now, what about for the fans that live outside of Philadelphia or across the country or just way too far away to get to Philadelphia to get a jersey? Are we not going to be able to get a jersey online? That's going to be probably the big problem as of right now going forward. So not really sure if we can order them online at 9 a.m. because I'd probably rather sit home and order a jersey than go. It takes me 2.5 hours to get to Philadelphia, but I have work, so there's no way I'm going to be able to even make that. So I'm hoping I can get my hands on one on Monday. I'm going to be online looking like crazy. I know they're going to be releasing some hats, some new hoodies, sweatshirts, all that different stuff. So maybe I'll get some other stuff instead until I can get a jersey later on. Because if this is just for the public in Philadelphia for the 3 pro shops, then I really don't know. But oh man, it brings the emotions in just to get these uniforms, and especially for some of you guys that have parents and have a generation of family members that have seen these jerseys a long time ago, and now seeing them in 2023 is probably the most amazing thing ever for some of you guys, and I can't wait until I see more. Just to see what's going on here. But this looks amazing. This looks awesome. I'm opening my wallet. Just take my money as of right now. So that were a lot of pictures came out. I don't know if these were just leaked or they meant to release them. I think they were meant to be released early. So they look fantastic. I really wonder if they're gonna bring out some stitched ones. I don't mind the iron-on ones at all, but I'm kind of interested to see how much these things are gonna be. I'm gonna guess they're gonna be close to maybe $180 for a jersey, and then with tax and with shipping, or if you can't order it, then it's probably gonna be. I'd say these are like $180 jerseys. They're probably going to spike them up like crazy, and they're worth every penny because when are you ever going to get to see this, and I'm hoping they can hold on to these uniforms for a long time, that we could wear them every single year. That's what I'm hoping. So that was the news on the Kelly Greens that were leaked early. Now, secondly, I want to go over a couple things. Nothing crazy. Since we have training camp today, I want to go over something completely separate when it comes to trades or comes to free agent signings. Yannick Ngakoue has been probably one of my favorite free agent acquisitions that the Eagles should acquire, and just because, you know what? He's a free agent. He's not going to cost too much. I mean, he's averaging 6 to 9 sacks a season. 3 to 4 different teams. I mean, he's doing a pretty good job. I think 3 teams as of right now. And I think really wants to find a home. He really hasn't found one. And just because he's jumping from team to team, it doesn't mean that he's a cancer in the locker room, or he's not a great, he's not a good locker room guy, because that's what everybody expects when the guy jumps team to team like this. But from what he is and what he could do, I mean, the Eagles should, sign him, give him a 2-year deal, give him a little bit of extra money, because he'll be a nice depth piece right now. Since Derek Barnett is kind of dealing with this knee injury, or at least this, he's been rehabbing this knee injury since last year and still rehabbing it and is limited. He'll be back. I know that, but let's complete this rotation and add more to this defensive line. And that's only if I'm good with this move, because Howie values the trenches regardless. Okay, once Jordan Davis got hurt last year, they signed Linval, they signed Ndamukong Suh easily. Okay, now with the move like Yannick Ngakoue, you can kind of complete your third rotation at defensive end, which theoretically it will be Hassan Reddick, Brandon Graham, Josh Sweat, Nolan Smith, and then have Derek Barnett and Patrick Johnson. I mean, there's really, there's really not much there for that third rotation, and adding Yannick Ngakoue would really solidify your third rotation a lot. A lot of Eagles fans don't like this move. I don't know why. This is what the Eagles value. They value the trenches, and if they're not going to go after a safety, which it doesn't look like they're doing right now, they're going to let that competition unfold, but you never know. Budda Baker's not coming here. He got a raise. Kevin Byard got his contract restructured, I think. So, I mean, he ended up getting more guaranteed money up front. There was a lot of things that happened this offseason, and I think they have to let this thing at safety kind of play out. And linebacker, really the only time they're not going to make a move at linebacker is if, Nicholas Morrow is really going to work out for the team opposite of Nakobe Dean. So, as much as I need to see Nakobe Dean play, and he had a good sample size, an okay sample size last year, but I still feel like there's a move at linebacker. There's plenty of names out there that I've went over a million times. I mean, you still got Quan Alexander that's still out there. You have Miles Jack that's still out there. Deion Jones, Zach Cunningham, Rashad Evans, Kyle Van Noy that's actually played really well with the Chargers last year. So there's a lot of free agent names out there if you're not going for a trade for Isaiah Simmons, if you're not trading for Patrick Queen, which we'll get into the next segment of this whole thing obviously this is a free agent acquisition, which I think makes a lot of sense for the Philadelphia Eagles, but I think Danielle Hunter, it's kind of official now. We've been hearing the whole offseason with Danielle Hunter that he is up for trade. There has been a lot of teams calling, but they weren't really pulling the trigger on anything as of right now. So as of yesterday, the Danielle Hunter stuff, like the offseason, getting a new contract, it has not happened. Seems like one of the top teams to really acquire him is the Baltimore Ravens, which there are rumors that Patrick Queen is up for trade. They denied Patrick Queen's 5th-year option and, could maybe trade him to Minnesota. And get Danielle Hunter the money he wants. Now, this is, I think, Eagles are not going to do this. I mean, I'd be shocked if they did this, but nothing really surprises me with Howie Roseman. At least if Howie Roseman makes a phone call, then he made a phone call. Doesn't mean that he gets the deal done, but at least he makes a phone call to see what's going on with Danielle Hunter and the contract extension talks, which he hasn't gotten from the Minnesota Vikings this whole entire offseason. It's been quiet. It's been bumping heads the whole offseason, and he's not getting what he wants, so he's most likely going to leave Minnesota, and lots of teams are calling. I'm just starting to wonder if the Eagles have a plan up their sleeve to go get him, and if not, I'm not even worried about it, because it could be pretty unrealistic to pay a defensive end a lot of money right now. At this point in time, the Eagles have over $13.5 million in cap space, but obviously the cap could be misplaced at some points. Howie could, do some things with this cap that's obviously really amazing. That's good for the team and good for the player. The player gets his money, and the Eagles get low cap numbers, which is good. And you could move money around if you have to. Maybe, one of the, years can be dismissed. I mean, who knows? It just depends how the contract negotiations go. But I think honestly getting Yank Ngakoue is probably the more realistic option, because I think part of him always wanted to play in Philadelphia. I think when he left the Jags on that franchise tag, he was tweeting and teasing Eagles fans with Trent Cole and Reggie White and some of these other guys, you know what I mean? And talking about Philly cheesesteaks, he really teased us that whole offseason, wanted to play with this defensive line so much. And I think this defensive line was way better than that was a few years ago. So as much as people are on board, if the Eagles aren't going after safety, if they're not adding another linebacker, which I think they should, if they want to do a couple moves, they could do one. A linebacker, free agent linebacker, is not going to cost that much. What's left out there? And I'm really choosing between, I'm really kind of up on Quan Alexander because he's more of a hybrid type linebacker, which is good. You can move him all over the place if you really need to. Pass coverage isn't bad. Obviously, he needs to stay healthy. That's one of the main reasons there. But with Yank Ngakoue, 6 to 9 sacks average per season, and he's not great against the run, but I don't care. He's a depth guy. I can care less if he's bad or good against the run. I'm here. He's here to. I'm here. Well, I am here. He's here. He'll be here to get after the quarterback. That's all that matters. But the more depth you have, why not? If down the road, if they're going to sign another defensive lineman by the trade deadline, just do something now. Get something done and lock him in for 2 years, this year and next year. You don't have to give him some long-term extension. Let him be here. Let him be on a roster for more than a year or something, you know what I mean? So give him a shot. I think he's going to play. I think he's a perfect fit in Philadelphia. So just give him that shot, man. I think just give him a home, get him over in Philadelphia and get it done. So other than that, guys, that's pretty much it. Talked about the Kelly Greens. I'm so excited. Oh my God. I can't wait. They look so good. And I want to see more of these helmets. They're not showing too much of the helmet right now, but I know Monday we'll get like a trailer with the players wearing everything, and it's going to be awesome to watch. So that was cool to look at. And obviously, who would you rather get? Or honestly, what position are you really signed to? Do you think we should wait for a safety, wait for, let the competition roll with linebacker, or do you think maybe they should, go after somebody? Or do you think there's a lot of interest in getting a defensive end like Yank Ngakoue, or a trade for Danielle Hunter, or somebody at linebacker? Like I said, I think certain positions they're going to let play out, but I think adding to the trenches is just even better for Sean Desai and this defensive line. I mean, why not? It's more firepower. There's always definitely down the road by week 9 of the trade deadline, the Eagles could go after, Ndamukong Suh again if they want. You know what I mean? If they're close to the playoffs and they call Suh, there's a big chance Suh can come back. So why not add a prime player to your defensive line that statistically does really well? I know that Yannick did hire a new agent not long ago. I think it was Rosenhaus. So if it is him, then he's trying to get a little bit more money. But the longer he is still a free agent, the longer as the days go on, the cheaper he is going to be by the start of the season. So I'm hoping the Eagles make some calls. And honestly, it won't surprise me if the Eagles right now are calling teams about maybe some players we don't know about. You know what I mean? So, or like I said, free agents are much easier to sign because you don't have to give up draft capital, because trading for Danielle Hunter is probably going to cost, I don't know what it's going to cost. They're not going to give him away for nothing. He's relatively still in his prime, so can produce for a team immediately. So it's a lot going on right now. So let me know what you guys think, and I'll see you guys on the next one. You guys enjoy the rest of your day. And if you haven't, make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel. We'll be covering training camp every single day, all Eagles news every day, and you guys have a fantastic day. SHAKESQUAD up, follow us. Peace out, guys. Peace.